Hello, everyone. Today I want to discuss something that new designers tend to be a little lackadaisical about, but it's kind of important to realize that there are levels, and different levels means you need to put items in different levels so that you can other people, when they reference your file, they can turn it on and off and change the appearance of that level. By default, it's set to default for the level, but that is never a good level to put anything on. It's kind of like layer 0 in AutoCAD. So what you'd want to do is set up a level, or pick the level that you need to work on. But then I hear users saying, "Oh, there's over 2,000 levels in here. I can't look through all of these and scroll through all of these. It's too cumbersome." Well, there is a thing down here called filters. And if you're looking at the filters, maybe you can come in and lessen the amount of levels that you have to deal with. Maybe in the file that I'm working on, I'm just doing site plan work. So if I set the levels to their filters to site plan, the only levels I'm looking at are the ones that are related to the civil site plan. Makes it a little bit easier to search through the levels. I can further search them. If I'm looking for topo, I can type in topo up here, and then I only get the levels that have topo in them. So there's some quick things you can do to find the level you need up here. But rather than using levels, MicroStation has an even more powerful tool, and it's called an element template. So if I come down here and use the element template, if I come into civil and go into site plan again, which was down, or site features, here we go. There's my fences. Uh, when I pick those, what it does is it puts me on the level according to what it should be up here. So watch, when I hit stairs and ramps, it puts me on the stairs and ramps level. So it sets my settings up for me. But there's also another button that you need to pay attention to here, and this element template association. You want to turn that on also. So that way, when you place this line on that element template, if something changes in the future about that element template, say they change the color or the level that would go on, if you have this line associated to the element template, if the element template changes, then the line changes with it. So it makes it kind of future proofs your the items that you're placing in your drawing. So think, instead of even caring about the level, start thinking about using element templates instead. It'll make your life a lot easier. It'll make the next guy who receives your file a lot easier, especially if standards change in the future, because you don't want to lock yourself into something and have to go through a lot of work. If you have the element templates in there set, and then all you have to do is change the template library and it'll fix it for you. So that's a great way to think about working with this software. Instead of using levels for everything, come over here and look at these element templates and think about using those. And if you get accustomed to using some, notice that also at the top here, it gives you the most recent ones that you've picked. So I had non-plotting graphics information picked at one time, and it should have changed my level over here, but it didn't. Huh, interesting. If I picked dredge, it did. I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe that one isn't working like it should. So, there's always something you gotta look for. Maybe there's something broken. Let's take a look here. Non-plotting graphic information. Yep, that one is not setting correctly. Looks like we're going to have that fixed. Well, anyway, just to let you know, looks like the general ones. Oh, you know why the general ones aren't working? Because we got a filter over here and we set it to not have those levels. Let me turn that back to none. And notice now it's picking it up. So Wait, that's notes. Let's see, reference files and attachments. There we go, miscellaneous text. Now it's changing because I didn't, but because the filter wasn't causing a problem. So see how that works? If you have it filtered out, it's not going to change the level. I wonder if that would work. Let's try this. Let's try filters. Let's go back and let's set it to all civil. And are the G's in there? G's are in all civil, but they weren't in one of these other ones that we picked underneath there, which was the site plan filter. There we go. The C's aren't in there, or the G's aren't in there. If I pick this miscellaneous symbols and draw it, it's still putting it on the right level. Match lines. Is that match lines? Let's go back to non-plotting. Yep. So it's still putting it on the element template, even though this isn't displaying correctly. And that's just because they're filtered out. So if I change it back to no filter, then the levels will start showing up correctly. So anyway, that's a great way to look at this software. If you start using these element templates and locking them in, you'll make your life a lot easier, or make the next guy's life a lot easier. So start thinking about using element templates rather than using layers for everything. And if you look at the properties on this item, you'll notice that it says there's a template in here of what it's set to. So CAD levels, general, general information, non-plotting, graphic information. So that's how that locks it on there. And if you ever wanted to change the element template, let's say I wanted to go to reference files, notice it changed because I changed the element template that it was based on and that sets up the settings according to those element templates. All right, well, think about using those because that's a lot handier, a lot more powerful than using just levels.